Hello everyone, welcome back to Rolling Solo. My name is Adam Smith, and inside this game unboxing video, I am excited to be checking out Burncycle from Chip Theory Games. That's right, it's landed now in Canada. This coming from the crowdfunding campaign, and there's more than just this base box. This is a large base box. You'll also see underneath of it a playmat that has watermarked areas for things like the imperative cards, the bot mats, the dice pools, chip trays, all kinds of different things. Inside of this video, we're going to talk about all the components. You're going to see them visually that come inside the core box experience. I do have the other gameplay based expansions as well, and some other surprises which I will show in a future unboxing video. This one will be just specific to the core to help you make an informed decision as to whether or not you want to dive in to Burncycle or not. I'll tell you this right up front, Chip Theory Games is a company that always caters to solo gamers. It's one of the reasons I gravitated to that publisher very, very early on when they had Hoplomachus, Too Many Bones first arrived, all those sorts of games were really focused on solo play from the ground up. And not only just that they had it, but they did it extremely well, and it was a lot of fun. So every time there's a new iteration from Chip Theory Games, I'm always interested in what they are cooking up. And this time here we have Burncycle. So without further ado, let's go ahead and flip this box over, find a little bit more about what this game has to offer us, and I'll take you through all the components inside. In just a moment, I'll continue with my Burncycle unboxing, but for now, quickly, a word from the sponsor of the video, which is GameFound. And on the GameFound crowdfunding platform, right now is Castles of Burgandy, which is a legendary board game design crafted by Stefan Feld, currently ranked as 17th best game in the world based on Board Game Geek's rankings, and it is now introducing solo play as part of the special edition on GameFound, with 8 days remaining, $1.8 million raised right now, and over 14,000 backers. This is one the solo community needs to keep their eyes on. More information can be found in the link in the top right hand corner. Hundreds of years in the future, tyrannical human corporations rule over Earth, hunting down and eliminating sentient robots who dare to resist. A small group of multiple bots called the 404th have banded together to strike back, hoping to overthrow robot kind's oppressors and regain the code that was stolen from them. The bots' best chance for success is a strategic coding protocol called a Burncycle, which allows them to sabotage, spy, and steal from the corporations without the use of their stolen higher functions. In Burncycle, you and up to 3 other players are in command of the 404th infiltration team tasked with breaking into one of the world's largest corporations. Using creative chip sequencing, you will organize your moves and take advantage of action-type synchronicity as you perform elaborate heists across multiple floors of each corporation. The action unfolds not only in the physical realm, but the digital one as well, as you access the corporation's networks to keep their security measures at bay. Act quickly and stealthily. If your team is too slow or attracts the attention of the building guards, your threat level will grow too high and your mission will fail. Fight for your future. Join the 404th. Opening up Burncycle for the very first time, on the left-hand side of the box, you're going to find some booklets. You're going to find things like floor plans and rule books. On the right-hand side, you'll find some neoprene mats, what look like dice bags, and there's a storage solution all underneath as well. So without further ado, let's check out the booklets first, and then we'll dive into more of the components. Pulling out the 3 booklets inside the box, we have the Learn to Play Guide, the Floor Plan Book, and the Rules Reference. When you first open up the Learn to Play Guide, on the left-hand side, you're going to find credits, special recognition, and a note on the right-hand side from Chip Theory Games themselves, and a lore introduction to Burncycle. For those who wish to read the lore introduction, here is a closer-up shot. Feel free to pause the screen and take a look. The next page talks about how you use this book, and this book is not a traditional rule book. It's rather a learn to play that presents the flow of the game and teaches the basics of how to play the game itself. It gives you a welcome, and then it jumps into the table of contents. You have pages detailing all the different components that come inside the box, and again, you're going to see all these close up. Then it moves into a very important step, and that is how you set the game up. It also gives you a nice illustration of how it looks when it's all set up. And as you continue through the rest of this Learn to Play guide, you're going to see the rough format is going to follow this type of structure throughout with highlighted notes all the way through. And at the very back of the Learn to Play booklet, you're going to find a quick reference guide, which will certainly come in handy during gameplay. Here's a look at the floor plan booklet, the very first one. We'll go all the way to the very back of the booklet as well. Here at the back of the booklet, you'll see it still follows the same format and structure throughout all the way to the very end. There are 14 pages of content. This is a look at the rules reference, and if you're familiar with rules references in general that come with board games, they typically are all focused around keywords. These ones all in alphabetical order to help you easily identify keywords that you want to find more information about while you are playing the game. And here's an example of the layout and the format and structure of what it looks like if you start going through the content of this booklet. Here's a look at the very back page where there's the index, and it's worth mentioning there's about 42 pages total of content in here. With those booklets out of the way, we now run into a bunch of neoprene. Let's go ahead and take them out of their packaging and look at them close up. Here's a close-up look at the agent mats. We have multiple colors in here and that stitching around the edges of the neoprene mats. Pulling out a tray that is just full of neoprene pieces for gameplay, we have here the command module mat. This one's right on top, again, edge stitch all the way around with color. And then we have the room mats themselves. And there's a number of these of varying different sizes. You'll see what they're called up in the top right-hand corner. So we have a lobby here. We have an assembly here. And again, if I flip them over, just neoprene on the other side. So they're not double-sided, but very, very nice looking neoprene mats, as neoprene always is. Server here. We have a break room. And for easy access, the trays do have little holes in the side just to be able to pull them up quite quickly. You've got the break room. You have the executive office. We have a restroom. We have a utility room. What is this one here? This is the dynamo. We have some really small ones here as well. Looks like stairwells. Then we get into the records room. The cube farm, of course. You gotta have those cubicles. This one's cut a little bit. You'll see the different patterns and designs of these are all a little bit varying in size and shape. This one is a conference room. We have a security room. Now we're getting into the more squared off ones. Mechanical room. Waste. Storage, and then even smaller ones than this. We have equipment, a service elevator. Now, as I begin to put these neoprene mats back inside of this tray, there are also what appears to be some small twist-off storage containers here. These are really nice. So a lot of the pegs and pieces that are of smaller nature are going to go into these storage containers. Next up, we have what are called threat cards. There are 3 of them, and they are double-sided. And for those curious, here is a look at the back of the 3 threat cards as well. So once you've cleared out the top section of the burncycle box, now you get to see the storage solution inside, which I can say right now, very impressive. Looks clean, classy, and everything's organized, looking perfect. So you're gonna have these chip trays just like you can expect from games like Too Many Bones, Cloudspire, and other entries that they have put out in the past. Also, the dice trays are exactly the same as ones used in the past. I love all of these, and really none of them need to change at all because they're so handy on so many levels. You can even break apart things like the dice tray and use the 2 halves to hold dice in them. Like, everything about them is awesome. There is ample space here for cards, and one thing I will say is, please do not sleeve Chip Theory games ever. There's no point. The cards are literally made of the best component quality in terms of card printing you can get. You can throw them in the bathtub. They're not going to get destroyed. There's no point at all in sleeving them. So if you see empty space, like in most board games, you're probably going to get excited and be like, sweet, I can sleeve that. Don't do it. At this point, let's go ahead and take a look at these game components up close. now, my friends, going to wrap up this game unboxing for Burncycle from Chip Theory Games, and I'm going to tell you this right out of the gates. I'm excited to dig further into this one, learn it, and get it to the table. Now, the first thing I got to mention, though, is there's more expansions for Burncycle already. If you go check out the original crowdfunding campaign, there was a bunch of additional gameplay expansions you could add into the fray. There was additional things to just kind of beef up the look and feel things as well. I'm going to be unboxing a number of those things in a separate video, which may come soon, or it might not come until the end of June or into early July. Now, why I'm saying this is because I am about a week and a half or so from a major move. And when you do a move, just in general, from one location to another, the idea of filming while trying to pull off that move is just not a good idea. It's going to be stressful. There's lots of other logistics I have to work out, and I have a family to take care of. So in that vein, I'm going to be putting the entire channel on pause for the month of June so I can actually concentrate on packing and unpacking and moving and transitioning, which will be all kinds of fun behind the scenes, but not so much fun in terms of trying to present something throughout the month of June that's going to be cohesive or even make any sense in terms of a logical order of release. It would be all over the place in different locations, sound quality, video quality, be all over the place. So let's do this right, and let's do this in the month of July. So I'll be doing a rolling solo showcase for Burncycle in July, and I'm really hoping you'll join me for that, and it'll be a lot of fun. Now, something else I want to mention is around my Patreon, which I have not put a ton of exclusive content into. I've done a ton of early release videos, but I'm going to start kicking up the number of videos that are exclusive just to Patreon, things you will not find on the channel, things like behind the scenes footage of my current studio, the new studio I'm going to, and then videos going beyond that in terms of new series or segments that I just want to kind of start digging into that I've never had the opportunity to really try in the past. And I believe this transition that I'm making is going to really open up the doors on that, and my Patreon individuals supporting me behind the scenes are going to reap the rewards of that as I start to do that much more often. Now, I'm going to throw this out there too. If you've been on the Patreon train in the past and you jumped off, or you've never been, it's basically a tool that allows me to gain support from the actual community in terms of financial support to keep the channel churning along, and also being able to upgrade as we go and keep things tip top. At the same time, it allows me to provide you with benefits that you cannot get off of YouTube, because YouTube's limiting member sign up system just doesn't give you as many options as is available inside of Patreon. And I find that that is a much better tool for that type of support. So I'm really hoping I'll see you there. And if you really love the channel in terms of helping you make those informed decisions on games that might be for you, or games that might not be based on what you see here on the channel, then please join us there. And I will, as I'm making this transition from my current studio to the new studio, I'll be doing for sure one video at least of my current studio, and will probably be a longer one, but who knows. And we'll show you the different aspects of what I got currently in this room that I'm in, which is already starting to get hollowed out as we speak. And then I'll also do a video maybe before I actually start building calyx shelves and setting up my new studio, and then maybe even after it's all set up as well. So there'll be a couple videos that are going to be coming out at least inside of Patreon sometime between now and maybe early July. So there'll be some cool stuff to look forward to. So if you want to see some of that stuff, definitely check us out on Patreon. I would love to have you there. So that's going to do it, my friends. Thank you guys so much for watching. You may see a few more videos trickle out beyond this one right here. This might not be the last one, but we'll see how it goes. We're really getting down to the wire here, and the channel does need to come to a grinding halt in the near future as I put my focus on other aspects of my life. But I am definitely excited to be coming back full of energy and ready to go inside of July. And if I get really lucky, maybe late June. So we'll see how things go. But thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, keep on rolling solo.